All right, folks, here we are underway here at the National Bowling Stadium, the 2014 USBC very special presentation today. The people wanted it. We put out a vote, a like-a-thon, so to speak, on Facebook, and the power of cheese, as they say, came through. This group yesterday, Janz's H1, took the lead in the regular team event with a huge 34.99 set. It is tied for the 7th highest score in history, and that was fueled by a 300 game by Tim Damerow. In the final game, they had a huge finish, 12-18, to get to the top spot, well above previous leader, Storm Products Inc., 33-41. So the new standard here, 34.99, tied for the 7th highest score ever. And these guys are back on the lanes today, looking to chase down some doubles and singles glory as well as team all events, and they have a heck of a head start, 500 over with 6 games to go. Once again, this is Matt Cannizzaro alongside Aaron Smith here with this bonus coverage. Thanks for joining us today. Looking forward to an exciting afternoon here at the National Bowling Stadium. Tell all your friends. Hit them up on Facebook and Twitter. Send them an email, a text. Bonus coverage from the 2014 Open Championships. Aaron Smith, how's it going today?
It's going fantastic, Matt. Glad we could have this special presentation here live on Bowl TV. The people did speak up. We said 300. We got well more than that on our Facebook page. They wanted to see the new team leaders as soon as possible. And here they are. Janz HI yesterday consisted of Joe Janz, Andy Bunkowski, Tim Janz, Randy Hupp, and Tim Damerow. Damerow led the way. You mentioned the 300. Yeah, the 778 series. He's followed by Bunkowski at 718, Hupp 716, Joe Janz 648, and Tim Janz 639 to get to that 34.99 total.
All right, Aaron Smith, we had such an exciting day yesterday. A lot of great bowlers in town. We're starting to see the flood of talent here at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno. And these guys we're watching right now, they had a big number back in 2011, 3407. One of the few groups with multiple 3400s in our history. We have just over 50 in 111 years of competition. We had a record 20 last year, so last year's patterns, I guess, so to speak, a little bit less challenging, at least in the team event. And this year, scores have been pretty steady. Again, 33-41 was the leader prior to yesterday. A couple of close calls and some big sets, but some very talented players in the building and on their way to town for sure. And these guys set the bar back in 2011 and ended up finishing 6th with 34.07. So they've been there. They led for only 3 days that time and have learned from that experience and have done very well as a team. 4 top 10 finishes in a row, 2008 through 2011, and really starting to gel. And now the addition of Randy Hupp in the last few years really helping this team as well. And the steady anchor, Tim Damerow yesterday, polishing off that 300 game, the 4th one of the year, and so much momentum coming into today's event. excited to see what these guys have in store for us. There's quite a few strikes on the board already. And I do know that they bowled the Bowlers Journal Championships, the Storm Bowlers Journal Championships, a couple days ago and didn't fare so well, but that was their opportunity to take a look at this doubles and singles lane condition. Of course, for those of you out there who don't know, starting last year, for the first time in history, multiple patterns here at the USBC Open Championships. We'll have one for team event, and what these guys bowled on yesterday was 43 feet, and a fair enough volume where maybe not so much surface is necessary, but a good look to the pocket from multiple angles, and we've seen some big scores, as I said, to show that a little bit better. And then the doubles and singles pattern is 40 feet, not too different from last year, 1 foot longer, a little bit more hold. But the doubles and singles pattern is what is featured at the Bowlers Journal Championships right next door on the high side of the National Bowling Stadium here. So a lot of bowlers taking the opportunity to go over there and bowl a squad or two and get a feel for the pattern. And even if they don't bowl well, chances are they're going to learn something about getting their equipment ready and what kind of moves are going to be necessary as they transition through 6 games of doubles and singles here.
It's a nice cover by helping the third frame to stay clean. We were busy setting up, and really didn't get a chance to talk to these guys too much about their game plan out there today, but just from watching in practice, it seems like overall they're using a little bit more aggressive equipment. Not sure on the layouts, but they definitely seem to all be playing in the same general part of the lane. So tough break for Damerow there, stuffing the 9-pin. But that was their key to success yesterday, starting off and just playing as a team and working together, communicating, picking each other up after the few bad shots that they did have. You know.
All right, so Aaron Smith, our technical whiz, working on things there, getting back up and running here.
All right, folks, I believe we are back in business here. We apologize for the technical difficulties. Hopefully everyone can see it again. Sorry about that brief delay. Never know what kind of issues you're going to run into here. Matt and I have a way to find interesting ways to make things broken from time to time. But we're back. We're live right here at the National Bowling Stadium. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in to this special broadcast here. The brand new team leaders, Janz, HI, out of Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. They are back after their 34.99 yesterday to see if they can keep the momentum going and move up the leaderboard in a few other places as well. The team all events number they're chasing, 9756, set by Town and Country Lanes out of Heartland, Wisconsin. Back to business. I know we had a question in the chat room asking what Andy was throwing. And it looks like a Rotogrip Hypercell going down at an unbelievable speed and rate. He surely gets on the ball.
Curious about the lane patterns here at this year's Open Championships, you can visit bowl.com and select the Open Championships page from the Tournaments tab. And on the right side of your screen, you'll see an information link. Just go there. You'll find all kinds of great info and details about this year's event, including a variety of graphs showing you this year's 2 lane conditions, 43 feet for team, 40 feet for doubles and singles, and of course plenty of opportunities inside the venue under the National Bowling Stadium roof to get a look at those patterns prior to competing at the Open Championships. Again, if you want to see this doubles and singles pattern, you can visit the Storm Bowlers Journal Championships presented by USBC, being held on lanes 69 through 78 here at the NBS, and that's what these guys did to get an idea of what to expect when it came time for making a run at team all events, and quite a few strikes on the board already, so clearly they learned something over there.
Yeah, they've had a pretty good look so far here on the fresh. Quite a few strikes. We'll see if they can maintain this kind of pace throughout. I know last year we saw a few times when doubles pairs would come firing out the gates and kind of run into what you term the third game blues. We'll see where these guys and their strategy leads them to today. Great shot there by Joe Janz.
Aaron, I talked earlier with a famous bowler who shall remain nameless, but we talked a little bit about the lane conditions and the variety over the years and such, but the main goal when designing these patterns, of course, is to give the ability for bowlers of all skill levels and styles to find a way to the pocket, whether they're left-handed, right-handed, jokers, tweeners, hook the balls, no thumbers, you name it. The goal is to make it attackable from all different ways. Certainly put out a fair pattern equal to both sides of the lane, and those bowlers who make good shots and make their spares are gonna rise to the top here at the Open Championships, and that's what sport bowling is all about. Both patterns sport certified, so you have to expect a bit of a challenge coming out compared to your typical league shot, and the volume of oil, the ratio, 3-to-1, within the 3-to-1 specifications, compared to potentially 10 or 15-to-1 even at home, which means the amount of oil in the middle of the lane compared to what's on the outside part of the lane. So 3-to-1, a little bit flatter of a lane condition. You're going to see if you missed it outside, the ball may not make it back like you'd expect at home, or if you tug it in, the ball may not hold. But it's just more of a challenge. It's a national championship, but given that, we only have so many ways and opportunities to change the pattern, so it doesn't change a whole lot from year to year. The idea is similar. The length may change, but again, as fair as possible for all styles. And bowlers are just getting smarter, equipment's getting better, and they're getting the idea. But last year we threw them for a little bit of a loop with a brand new kind of oil, the Kegel Ice. And you mentioned the Game 3 Blues for doubles, and I think that part of everybody bowling on fresh oil for the first time, coupled with trying to figure out how that type of oil would transition compared to oils of the past. The Kegel Ice designed to hold up a lot longer, so you don't see the transition as early as you would have in the past. So if you're trying to anticipate some moves, certainly that is a bit more challenging. And bowling all 6 games on the same pair even make it a little more challenging too, because you're not flipping to a brand new pair of lanes that somebody else broke down for you. This is completely up to you. So how you break them down, how you play them for 3 games certainly will affect how they play later on and how they transition. But I think bowlers are getting smarter with their equipment and their preparation. And of course, now that Kegel Ice is out there, they're getting a chance to practice on it as well perhaps, and come in a whole lot more prepared.
Those are some great points there, Matt. I couldn't agree more with you.
Well, dynamite drop in, Mr. Smith.
That's what I'm here for. That and to write down scores. Speaking of scores, we had someone ask about the actual team that's in first place right now, Janz HI. That team is made up of Joe Janz, Andy Bunkowski, Tim Janz, Randy Hupp, and Tim Damerow. Damerow led the way with a 300 in the finale for 778. He is followed by Bunkowski with 718, Hupp 716, Joe Janz 648, and Tim Janz 639. Team started off with 1081 in game number 1. Had a huge game 2 with 1200, and then they went struck even more in game 3, 1218, to get to that 3499 total. They had a humongous 10th frame, 4 out of the 5 bowlers delivering all 3 strikes, including Damerow for the 300. And it's also a testament to the group for bouncing back after a not so good 9th frame. Coming into the 9th frame, they actually 1300 plus was still out there, as well as I want to say they still had a shot at 3600 with a humongous finish there. And Joe Janz led it off. He left a 2-8. He covered that. Bunkowski running 260, stuffed an 8-pin, which was just mean more than anything else. He covered that up. Tim Janz working on a few strikes in a row, ended up leaving a split 6 count. He was only able to get 1. I believe it was a 3-4-6-7. Randy Hupp working on the front 8. Went through the nose, left a 3-6 and chopped it. And then Damerow got the only strike of the frame. So they definitely had a shot at a humongous number outside that 9th frame, but still 12-18, a fantastic overall effort. Threw a lot of strikes to get there before that 9th frame, and then the huge 10th frame to get them to that 34.99, give everyone a huge number to look at from here on out.
Well, we've seen it many times, and that's why it's a 10-frame game, of course. And if you're going to find success here on the biggest stage, you have to see it through. And these guys are experienced enough to know and to stay composed in that situation where they all had doubles going into the ninth, and things were looking pretty good, and the word was getting out that this big number was possible, of course, and we were here to see it through as well. And the ninth frame didn't go quite how they hoped, but they regrouped, they communicated, and came up big, 4 out of 5 striking in the 10th. And I think that's their experience, not only being from Wisconsin and the team bowling environment, but from past years here at the Open Championships. That's how you get yourself inside the top 60 year after year. And these guys come in knowing that they can compete. They bowl kind of early, so the numbers might not be as high or already set on the leaderboard. So, they're the ones being chased now. And some good teams again. In 2011, they had to leave for 3 days before Brian Brazeau's Pro Shop and a very talented group there came in and raised it just a little bit. And then, of course, we saw the highest game in team history as Jeff Riggles and the Turbo folks, the 11thframe.com folks now, took home that team title. So, a lot of speculation already after yesterday's big number. How high will they get? Which, again, and I don't want to get into the whole debate, but it's really hard to tell. These guys are great bowlers. They've bowled big scores before. So, hard to say that that's not the winning score. Who knows? Obviously, on July 13th, when it's all over, we'll know a little bit better. Yes, the big scores are out there. We saw it yesterday. We've seen some close calls. But it's tough to go out there and execute. And certainly a lot of teams are going to learn from what they've seen and heard so far. And they're going to work a lot harder now, knowing that 34.99 is the number.
Even with our technical difficulty, we're moving right along here, already at the end of game number 1. Bunkowski throwing pins everywhere.
These guys over the years they've got their relationship, the chemistry, the good communication, and of course the camaraderie and the consistency of turning around on the approach and seeing the same 4 guys standing behind you. Certainly that has to help, and it's proven on the scoreboard year after year.
See a question about asking what Tim Damerow's throwing. When he gets up there, take a closer look. Looks like a majority of these guys are using Storm or Rotogrip equipment. I'm just looking at the rack there, quite a few hypercells. A zero gravity or 2 as well.
They were wearing Rotogrip shirts in the picture yesterday.
210 for Hupp there. I believe he's throwing in, from what I heard yesterday, it looks like he's sticking with it as IQ Tour Solid. Definitely was the ball he was using in game 3 last night. Not sure what he started off with. We had a high-scoring squad as well. These guys weren't after the first game. We had eyes on another squad that went 1140s. These guys just put on a show afterwards.
Yeah, sometimes we run into the challenge of not really being able to see what these guys are throwing, obviously from our vantage point. And with the ability to bring up to 8 bowling balls for each player, it could be anything. It could be any combination of ball changes along the way. Of course, we do our best to do our homework and have an idea. So whatever we know, you'll know as we progress through these 6 games here at the National Bowling Stadium. Once again, thanks for joining us. This is Matt Canizar and Aaron Smith. And of course, Janz H1 or HI or however they want to say it or spell it every year, they're still up at the top of the standings and looking to get even higher in team all events today. The big number they're chasing, 97.56, and they're 500 over coming into doubles and singles. So 6 games to increase that number.
I believe it's home improvement, Matt. Like the show. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say Tim's throwing a zero gravity. Trips the 9 there. After an open in the second, Damerow's going to be in the 240s here. He's looking to run down that regular all events number as well, 2076. Might be in jeopardy by the time we finish up today. Janz will be the first one to finish up here. Fills it up for 215. All 10 back for Damerow, 248. Through 4 games, his low game is 235.
It looks like a few of these guys are playing a little bit straighter up the right side of the lane, and maybe not something we anticipated in setting up the camera, figuring that this doubles and singles pattern maybe they'd be a little bit deeper. Maybe they'll get there eventually, I'm sure, as the 6 games progress, but right now hard and straight seems to be the style of play we're seeing here. But Bunkowski through the face there, but he's their straighty for sure. And just fired it at the hole yesterday, and again we talked about his 8-pin late. Could have certainly helped them every pin along the way. But you get those breaks, they even out. I believe there was a messenger or two, a couple shots later, that evened out that bad break.
Big double for Tim Janz. Once again, going back to the chat room, if I was a betting man, Tim Damerow's throwing a 0 gravity here in the early going with looks like it's got some polish on it though, or perhaps 4,000. Looks a little shinier out there. Bunkowski's going to be in the 240s. Tim Janz in the 230s. Like a ball change on the fill for Andy there to give him the 242.
Some big numbers here on the fresh for doubles, 40-foot sports certified lane condition. They're making it look, a few of them are making it look pretty easy.
It's another 9 there for Randy. It's his second one at least.
And the miscue by Huck missing the 9-pin. Those mistakes easily could be the difference come July 13th. Whether it be for a title or just an extra handful of cash, but got to make those shots here at the Open Championships, the big stage. Single pin is very important. Aaron Smith very proud of his own single pin performance here last week.
I'll take it. 24 out of 25. Unfortunately, my split percentage was 0.00. Also, unfortunately, I left a lot of them in doubles and singles. So for Janz HI in the opening game of doubles, 11:05. So they added another 100 pins on the plus 499.
Jimmy, we got 1100 all for you.
All right, game 2 underway. Just like that.
Me and Jimmy combined.
Guys well on their way after game 1, but still a long way to go. 5 more games on this pair of lanes. We're behind lanes 29 and 30 here at the National Bowling Stadium 2014 USBC Open Championship. Thank you all for joining us here in this bonus coverage. We put it out there and the Facebook world came through. More than 400 likes. Said yes, let's see these guys, the regular team leaders. $34.99. Let's see what they can do here in doubles and singles. Can they raise that bar in team all events? Is 10,000 out there? A couple hours from now, we'll know that answer. I know Curtis Odom, our current all events leader, is at home checking in. Tim Damerow bowled a 300 game yesterday. 778 series to lead this team. Starts with 248 today. Curtis hanging on with 2076 for a while now, and
It's been threatened a few times. A few folks coming into that last game being 220s and 230s, unable to string the strikes together. But yeah, 2076 standing strong.
certainly a lot of close calls. And Curtis said, I believe it's his birthday either yesterday or today, and sweating it out, but Tim Damerow well on his way. 778 yesterday, 248 start, and starts game 2 with a strike. big crowd in the chat room today, 300 plus. So welcome everybody for this bonus coverage. These guys looking to put on a show for sure. A lot of strikes through game one. Aaron Smith, the man with the numbers, will be following along. 97.56, leading team all events. Pretty confident it's going to take 10,000 plus to grab the title this year. So see if these guys can set the standard. Still early. We kick things off here February 28th, and we'll go all the way until July 13th. 136 days of bowling here at the National Bowling Stadium.
Looks like a ball change for Andy there, after going back to what he started in the first frame. Looks like he went to a zero gravity as well. It's a lot of similar equipment choices as well for these guys, so I'm sure that's something leading into the tournament as well. Something they kind of plan for. And we have celebrities watching all around us, man. So many Eagles in the vicinity. We have Nicholas J's Pro Shop ready for their team event later on today. There's Jeff Nimke, Chad Kloss. We're surrounded by Wisconsin.
Yeah, we have certainly an exciting afternoon here. We were planning to live stream tomorrow anyway. Red carpet lanes, now Ocean Plus lanes. And that team includes former PBA exempt players Dave Barris and Chad Kloss, as well as former Junior Team USA member Chris Pearson. They shot 34.99 last year here at the National Bowling Stadium. Made a run at team all events as well. Always in the mix. We'll have their doubles and singles for you tomorrow. Same time, same place. And they're in the building again, as you mentioned. Nicholas J's Pro Shop, the 2012 regular team champs, in the building bowling this afternoon. That's going to be an exciting, high-scoring squad, I'm sure. And as we mentioned earlier, Brian Bergeau Pro Shop, the team that topped Janz's HI in 2011. They shot 34.39 to inch past them, ended up finishing second. But Brian Bergeau and, of course, our 2008 regular doubles champs, Dennis Rakoskis and John Sosha. So a lot of talent, as you mentioned, and they are taking notes. These guys are striking. They want to know how to attack this doubles and singles pattern. It certainly helps to see it in play and then go test your theories over at the Bowlers Journal Championship. So I don't see any notepads, but they're taking mental notes. That's what good bowlers do.
Absolutely. They got to know when these kind of guys are in town, and if you ever have the opportunity to sit back and watch some of these teams operate, it's really a treat if you enjoy bowling, and if you're here right now, obviously bowling's something you're passionate about, and to watch these teams just work together, communicate, and then just the way they get fired up once the strikes start to fall is something pretty neat, especially on a stage like the Open Championships, especially here at the National Bowling Stadium. Messenger for Tim Janz there. Ferocious messenger. How about that?
Hello from Wales. Again, we've gone global. Thanks for tuning in from across the pond, as they say. Here we saw a great look at how to play the lanes as a team not too long ago with Oregon Bowlers Association came out and made a run at the team lead, working together, picking each other up, as you said. And I think if you want to see how to play them in doubles and singles, at least early, taking a look at this archive broadcast later on will certainly help, and we'll see how things develop and how they move as they transition. But at least early on, they seem to be right on.
Now 11:05 in the opener for the Janz HI 5. Jim Janz is the lone member on our feature pair right now who was not a part of that group.
We did have some people who figured this pattern out at the Bowlers Journal Championships. You can find that story and much more news on bowl.com. Go to the Open Championships page and you can read all about the Colorado group that came in and swept through doubles and singles.
They're actually bowling right now, and not too many big scores. They ate a few low 200s, but yes, they took full advantage of the Bowlers Journal, going bowling back-to-back squads, seeing it on the fresh, and then seeing it on the transition as well afterwards. And they opened up pretty nice for those guys down at the high end. Storm Bowlers Journal presented by USBC once again on the high end of the National Bowling Stadium for the second consecutive year. And of course, we have plenty of other opportunities to feed your competitive side here down at the track showcase lanes, where you can warm up by either a practice session for $125, get a chance to look at the team pattern, or you could have a little more fun, a little bit more laid back atmosphere in the Columbia 300 40 frame game, which is a fun way, a little softer pattern than the Open and Bowlers Journal, but certainly a chance to bring home some more prize money and get loose as well. There's a three-bagger for Hub after the struggles in game number one. Or I saw someone mention in the chat room, but it looks like he's made the move left already.
Damerow now up on 29. Shot 778 yesterday, started with 248 today. Great shot there. He's perfect on the left here in game two. Hasn't struck on the right lane. But Curtis Odom, if you're listening, look out. Mr. Damerow's coming for you. 2076, the number on top of the all-event standings right now. And Damerow looking to do some damage here.
There's a nice shot by Joe. Kicking the 10 out. See if Andy can figure out 29 here. Yet to strike. Throwing pins everywhere. I'm glad we could help so many people take an easy Friday here.
That's right.
No one's working if they're watching Bowl TV. That's what we like to hear.
It's Jeans Day.
It is Jeans Day, that's true.
What'd you say to him?
plus it's a holiday. It's Curtis Odom's birthday, so everybody take the afternoon off. Tell him we said it was okay.
That's true.
Once again, our 5 bowlers on this Janz's HI team: Joe Janz, Tim Janz, Randy Hupp, Tim Damerow, and Andy Bunkowski. 34.99 yesterday. Looking to add a ton to that for team all events here.
There's a 4 in a row for Hupp.
After the 163 start, getting comfortable, and the pins cooperating this game. It's a bad carry and a couple of miscues in game 1 left him at that 163. Great shot there for Joe Janz. That's 5 out of 6 for him after a 215 start. He was in the 640s yesterday. 648, I believe, was the number.
That is correct.
All right, we just got word that the man we've been waiting for all week, Anthony Malone, is scheduled to bowl today for his 65th tournament appearance. And unfortunately, due to injury, he will not be bowling. Could possibly be in town to watch the rest of his group, and at this point play the waiting game for next year. And number 65 will have to wait. Was going to be the 8th bowler to make 65 appearances. So Anthony, get well, get fixed up, and we'll see you next year throwing pins like Tim Janz. Anthony, of course, one of the 14 members of our 100,000 pin club, and understands the waiting game a little bit. Came up 10 pins short of 100,000 in 2009. 99,990. Had to wait all the way until the next year in Reno to knock down those 10 pins.
That's a lot of 9s.
And he got it done, so no doubt we'll see him next year. Coming up later this week, active pinfall leader Bill Lillard. 8-time champion here at the Open Championships, USBC Hall of Famer. He is 23.36 short of Joe Norris, the all-time pinfall leader, at 123,770. Looking forward to seeing Mr. Lillard and his family. Always great to have them in town. And already talking to Matt Lawson a little bit about what we have planned for next year for his approach to the record. But all that this week, April 7th, Mr. Lillard's in town. But right now, it's all about Janz's HI. Strikes everywhere here in game number 2. If there's any kind of transition, anything happening, there's no game 2 or game 3 blues in the future. It looks like these guys are lined up. Except, of course, for this last shot here on the right lane. Bunkowski, wide right.
Just a bit outside. He takes care of business, though. And I saw someone mention in the chat room, it looks like there has been a little bit migrating left from the whole group now, or the majority of the group, getting closer to that third arrow into 15. There's a nice shot by Jim Janz.
Looks like about 415 people joined the Like-a-thon last night to get these guys on today as bonus coverage, and almost 400 logged on right now, so we do appreciate it. You're live at the 2014 USBC Open Championships watching the Janz show. Janz is H.I. and Joe Janz now. 6 out of 7 here in game 2. And the rest of the team not far behind. A lot of X's on the scoreboard. You can see that obviously in the right-hand side of your screen. I don't have to tell you that. Great comeback shot from Andy there after the rail. Very easy to throw it through the break point here on this 40-foot pattern. And it looks like as these guys bowl on the pattern, and as they try to stay right, Janz says, what switch grip? Pulls it right out, dead flush. So he's gonna use some profanities and go to the bag, but so if you throw it that good every time, do that again.
Yeah, that's if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Well, now it's broken, so unfortunately, he's gonna have to fix it or find a new thumb somewhere. That's bad news right there. Pulled it right out. Best shot of the day, maybe.
I'm surprised when that happened to me, when that would like thumb thing came out. I like one. And pop. She's good, yeah.
Joe Janz had similar results when he lost his, it sounds like.
Yeah, that was my old one, that's why. You need screening or is the thumb good? Okay.
That is a pretty terrible feeling though when the ball you're throwing, something happens to it, grip, fingers, whatever. Especially if you're trying to get lined up, coming back from a rough start. Tim Janz 159 and finally has a double up there, and looks like he had another thumb ready to go, so he'll be all set here. As I was saying though, as you play the lanes a little bit, you get some oil moving down a little bit, but you kind of lose that back end sometimes, and you start seeing the half tens, the flat tens. That's when you start making your move left, trying to find a little bit of hold and maybe give yourself a little friction at the break point at least.
They certainly are crisp at the beginning, but
go with a little bit of surface to smooth out that fresh back end reaction, and then as the day progresses, maybe you want something that's going to react a little more off the friction, especially as you try to open up the lane and create a little more angle.
all right, stepping up on 29, Joe Janz. That shot way right. He had 6 out of the first 7 there. Don't leave too many 9 pins like that.
All right, there's some interesting camera creativity. Sorry about that. Now you know all about our Sony products. Aaron will have that back up in just a second. And we're going to step away for a second here, but keep an eye on the scoreboards. We'll be right back.
All right, folks, once again, sorry about the technical issue. Almost as a commercial break. Having a little issues with our main camera. Our other cameras are up right now, so we got it on the scoreboards right now so you can keep track. We will have it up and running as soon as possible. Once again, sorry for the delays. Technical difficulties here on the bonus stream coverage day. Scoreboards still up and running. Live scoring once they go. Randy Hupp delivers a strike after the split in the 7th frame. Matt Canizaro, our camera extraordinaire. Taking care of business. It looks like we are back in business, folks. They're striking so much they broke the camera.
Well, the technology was easy to set it up and walk away, but that's no fun, so keeps us on our toes.
All right, back to business as usual, hopefully. Knock on wood, whatever other kind of superstitious things that could be said so that it doesn't break again.
Regardless, Mr. Smith, game 2, winding down here. Game 2 of 6. We are here all the way, as long as technology will let us. Not sure what's happening here. Somebody having some equipment issues. They didn't quit. Looks like it is Jim Janz still working on finding the right thumb or the right feel.
That was his first offering after pulling out his last switch grip on the last shot.
Looked like these guys were well on their way, but here comes the transition. We talked about it at the end of game 2 and headed into game 3. It is not new, it's not unusual. And thought maybe these guys had found a way around it, but we'll see. Joe Janz stepping back up on the right lane. Was cruising through 7 and then got 7 in the 8th frame.
Yeah, I think for Joe that was just a bad shot more than anything else. That one got away from him. Comes back nicely though here in the 9th to to set up the foundation frame. Andy takes care of the spare to stay clean here in game number 2. Be looking for a double to get to the 2 teens here. That's a ball change as well for Tim Janz. He actually might have made that a few frames ago, but the technical difficulties.
Good shot by Hupp. Flat dime, as they say, as we say. Emil Williams Jr. coins the phrase, and then leaves town.
All right, 10th frame, getting ready to start here. Joe Janz still has 250s out there.
High flush leaves the 9-pin.
There have been quite a few 9 pins from these guys. I know Hupp had 2 the first game. Right before the camera went out, Damerow left a shaking 9-pin. It was wobbling but not falling over.
Uh-oh. And that is how game 1 ended for Hupp. Missed a 9-pin, now the 10-pin to the right. Loses a few more sticks, and 236 still out there for him. Very no problem for Janz. Good count. He'll be in the 230s. There's Damerow now. Mixes him up. 2-0 still out there for him. 248 start.
It's his first strike on lane 30 this game. Looks like he's still sticking with the same zero gravity. Just been bumping in a little bit.
Good shot, but kind of a weak 10 there as well. Janz 215, 235. 648 yesterday. Talking it over with Tim Janz now. What's the move here on the left lane to finish strong as we get into game 3? But Tim Janz, 639, I believe was his number yesterday.
639, correct.
Those two guys, other three over 700. So good team effort. 34.99, regular team leaders. Back at it today for doubles and singles here at the 2014 USBC Open Championships. Matt Kennazar and Aaron Smith bring it to you live. Bonus coverage from behind lanes 29 and 30 here at the NBS. Tim Janz. Great shot there for the double.
Second double of the game. He's looking to get to the 220s. 202 in the books for Damerow.
Well, without a double until the 10th, 202, pretty solid score here.
Just had the one errant shot in the 7th frame. Got it right and left the washout. Other than that, pretty solid. Just couldn't find the hits on lane 30. He gets him in the 10th.
Come on, blow it up.
I know we've been focused a little bit more on team all events today and all events, but a few of these guys might have something to say about the leading doubles total as well when it's all said and done here. 1360 on top of the standings. Set by the father-son duo of Jimmy and Brandon Cox. Out of Petersburg, Virginia, I believe. It's Brandon's first tournament, and after some struggles and nerves in the team event, they came back and put on a performance in doubles.
There's an area check for Janz as he finished strong at 227. The late 4-bagger. Monkowski now up on the right, and he strikes.
He gets the 10 to fall out late.
They were 79 over after 1. He's going to add another 40 or so here. Be in good position to make a run at that 1360. Damerow and Joe Janz also 100 over, 900 even.
Both at 450.
Good teamwork there.
That's all right.
You say somebody has to be the low man, but I guess technically not necessarily. So a couple of 750s out of those guys, and it could be well on their way too. Monkowski finishes with 214 and another single pin miscue from Hupp. Back to back 9 dashes for 215. Aaron, couldn't say that I haven't been that guy.
I know.
Just gotta shake it off. Easier said than done. As we wait for Jim Janz to finish things up, there's a 3-bagger. Seems to be getting comfortable with his new thumb. Take a quick station identification as we get ready for game 3. See if we can hold on and get ourselves a new doubles leader here. No game 3 blues today. We'll see in just a minute.
All right, Janz HI adds another 93 on top of their plus total, 1093. Scores were a little bit higher in game number 1. Had some 240s and 230s. A little more even scoring pace here in game number 2. And the folks in the chat are doing the math for me. Plus 697. Of course, the leading total on top of team all events, 9,756 by Town and Country Lanes 1 out of Heartland, Wisconsin. They were in the similar position last year. Actually held the team lead as well for a little bit. Their score may go down here live on Bull TV, presented by Track. Janz and Andy Bunkowski starting with a strike here. 9:20 after 2 games. 1360, the number on top here at the National Bowling Stadium for the 2014 Open Championships. There's a double for Damerow after having struggles on 30 in game number 2 there. Taking care of business once again. He had the big set for Janz HI yesterday. Capped off by a 300 game in the finale, 778. Start today with 248 followed by 202. Joe Janz mixes them up. Friend Mike Flanagan joining in. Still working on the official Bob Hart lane here at the NBS. For those of you who didn't get a chance to check out our live stream this past Tuesday, quite a treat. Got to see USBC Hall of Famer and 3-time Open Championships titleist Bob Hart become the 14th member of the 100,000 Pin Club. Mr. Flanagan and his folks from Storm came in a big group, had matching shirts to support their fellow co-worker, and it was quite a show. So be sure to check out that archived live stream. I think it's about 2 hours and 22 minutes into it when Bob actually officially goes over the mark. We had a presentation out here on the lanes, actually stopped the whole squad so they could present Bob with his crystal pin. And it was quite a moment. First 100,000 pin ceremony I've gotten to witness. First time we've had one here at the Open Championship since 2010, so certainly few and far between. 111 years of competition, only 14 competitors have reached that mark. So once again, congratulations to Mr. Bob Hart and his 58th tournament appearance. Also during that very same squad, we got to see Dan Nadeau's Pro Shop put up a number of their own. They're currently sitting in 7th place, 3280, so not only a great moment to watch and take in, but also get to see how they play the lanes as well. They put up some nice numbers there. All 10 down for Randy Hupp. Trying to bounce back after a few miscues at the end of game 2. That's 3 in a row for Tim Janz. Tim Janz and Andy Bunkoski need 440 here in the finale to get to the doubles lead. Off to a strong start here. Once again, this whole group, Janz, HI, also looking for a little bit more throughout the day. Hopes to get the team all events lead as well. Well on pace right now. Great shot there by Tim Janz for a double.
Aaron and the rest of the world, it's Friday, Jeans Day, and folks hopefully staying around late at the office to check out what's unfolding here at the National Bowling Stadium. On the verge of new doubles leaders, the Team All Events bar seems to be headed in an upward direction. Getting some great bonus coverage here from the 2014 USBC Open Championships. Janz's HI not disappointing.
So far, 4 frames here. They're putting the, they're saying nay to your 30-game blues theory.
We saw it a little bit at the end of game 2, and some moves and some ball changes. Perhaps the Game 3 head-scratching blues from 2013 won't be anything more than a couple of frames of transition at the end of Game 2 this year as folks figure out the patterns and the oil, and the pattern only 1 foot different than last year, a foot longer, so a little more hold.
A foot longer, more volume though, so. Nice shot by Huff. 6-7 for Damerow. That was left off his hand. Did not give that one much of a chance after the first 4. Try to take his 2 and see if his doubles partner Joe can hold him up for this frame. Looking for a double of his own. There's a ball change for Joe Janz to something a little shinier. Doesn't sound like he got out of it too well though. So it sounded like it just fell out on him. Looks like the IQ Fusion, it made the change too. Been using something with a little more surface and scooting left as he pattern transitioned. Just looking for a little crisper reaction at the back, making the ball change. Tim Janz looking to make it 5 in a row.
Oh, gonna break his hat.
Strange hit there. Leave the 4-10. Wow.
He's going to give it a run. Gets the 1.
Yeah, that, man, watching that as it plays back here, that you don't see too many hits like that. The foreman didn't even think about moving there. Two went right around it. Didn't even catch a tough break there. Janz still working on the feel of that ball after making the change. Gets that one way right, leaves the washout.
You gotta get carried out of here. Take advantage of her.
Nice cover though by Joe. Once again, the first of back-to-back days of live streaming here at the Open Championships.
Yeah, I know.
Bonus coverage today with the new team leaders. Janz HI out of Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, had a chance, really had a chance to set the all-time team series record yesterday. Rough 9th frame, but a big 10th frame got him to 34.99. Have a sizable lead over the rest of the field. So we're bringing you their doubles and singles right now, live on Bowl TV, presented by Track. And then tomorrow, one of our regularly scheduled broadcasts will feature the doubles and singles at the exact same time, 11 p.m. out here in Reno, 2 p.m. Eastern. Motion Plus Lanes, formerly Red Carpet Lanes, they shot 34.99 last year, right here at the Open Championships on their way to a top 5 finish. But that group features former exempt players from the PBA Tour, Dave Barris and Chad Kloss, as well as former Junior Team USA member Chris Pearson. So be sure to join us tomorrow as well. For a whole list of live streams, be sure to check bowl.com. You can see the calendar on the bottom right of the page for the full schedule for the year here from Reno. You can go to bowl.com/openchamp, click on information and 2014 live stream schedule. You can get the full look of all the events coming to you live from Reno at both the Open and the Women's Championships, scheduled to start a week from today at the Reno Sparks Convention Center. Right now, all eyes on lanes 29 and 30 at the National Bowling Stadium to see, first and foremost, the doubles score will go down here, and then team all events as well, regular all events, just about everything. Another ball change for Joe Janz. He found something in between what he started with and what he switched to. And he's able to mix them all up there. Take care of business. Nice break there on 29 for Tim Janz after the bad break in the 5th frame on that lane. Able to trip out the 6-pin late. Just leave himself the much more makeable 4-7.
He had a nice break on that lane as well last frame. Nearly rolling out the 3-6-10. Able to knock down 2 of them to leave just a single pin spare.
always key to cashing those kind of breaks out here. Takes a lot of great shot making, but you still need Lady Luck on your side if you want to take home an eagle and see your name up in the rafters. Great shot there by Randy Hupp. Another light mixer for Joe Janz. And another one on the board for Tim Damerow. Trying to catch up to their teammates, Tim Janz and Andy Bunkowski. It's both pairs looking to run down that 1360 leading total in doubles right now. Is the number Bunkowski and Janz, or Tim Janz, need to take a share of the lead. They're looking for a lot more than that. Tim still has 246 out there. Andy, 257. Big 9th and 10th frame. They won't be too far off of the leading score from last year, 1440. $1,379 still possible for Joe Janz, Tim Damerow.
Oh, that's fine. I might hand you a cup back for dump it over.
1423 for Tim Janz and Andy Bunkowski.
We're certainly piling on the strikes here at the end of game 3.
Well, we saw them do that yesterday as well. Had a big 6th, 7th, and 8th frame. I think they struck 14 out of the 15 shots for that rough 9th frame, and then they put up 13 strikes in the 10th.
Looks like the middle of game 3 here. A couple bumps in the road there, but back on track.
Certainly so.
Janz with the spare, possible 226. Koski working on a 3-bagger. Still has 257 out there.
That drops their max to 1403. We still have a chance at the first 1400 of the year. We only had, what did we have last year? 4, I believe. I want to say. And 4 pairs cracked the 1400 mark. 1399's right up there as well, but the introduction of fresh oil for every squad certainly curbed some of the scores in the doubles. Great shot by Joe there. That was a great ball change in the 7th frame. It's resulted in 4 in a row. Damerow makes it 4 in a row for himself.
Again, bonus coverage from the 2014 USBC Open Championships. Matt Kinizar and Aaron Smith here behind lanes 29 and 30 at the National Bowling Stadium. We are on our way to seeing some new doubles leaders, team all events leaders. Of course, yesterday this group, Janz HI took the lead in a regular team event, 34.99. So big numbers. It's the power of cheese, the secret Wisconsin shot, you name it. But they are certainly setting the standard here in 2014.
Oh, a decent count for both Joe and Tim. They will be our clubhouse leaders in doubles. Might only be for a minute, but will make their teammates show up here with the big out. Great end, Joe Janz, to get to 224.
Aaron's the man with the calculator, the numbers guy, except doing it old school.
10-pin, good spot for it for Tim, 254.
778, 704. We could also see our first 2100 of the year here.
That could be 1378. Current doubles leaders.
Not the birthday present Curtis Odom was looking for, but got to feel pretty good about how long that 2076 held on. It's not over yet, though.
Stranger things have happened. But
still 3 games to go. Singles coming up next, but right now, let's see Bunkowski and.
This is a huge first shot here. 1403 max.
Nice break there, breaking up the possible split.
Lose 21 there real quick. Tim's going to need to come up here and double.
1360, the doubles number.
Long gone. At least twice here. Probably. Getting ahead of myself.
Jimmy and Brandon Cox, father and son. Brandon a first timer. Big 7-0 set to lead that duo. Janz with the 10-pin.
It looks like Joe and Tim are going to hold on to the lead.
Always nice to see the teammates push each other, of course. 1378. First ones in the clubhouse.
I think Tim and Andy can get to 1371 here with the conversion. 2 strikes on the fill ball. This kind of feels similar to Team Tilt last year. Coming in early, didn't quite take the leading team, but they rewrote the doubles standings.
Well, you saw it earlier this month, or late last month, I guess, with the Oregon Bowlers Association going 1, 2, 3 in doubles, was it?
1, 2, 5, and 6, I think.
So 1378. For Joe and Tim. Damerow making his run at all events. Tim Janz going to finish things up here. We're going to be 1, 2 in doubles.
Unless we missed something here. Very lively squad going on here. Definitely some players out here. Jason Duran, Scott Salinas. Yeah, all eyes here on 29 and 30.
Despite all the strikes being thrown, we're still about the last pair that's going to flip over to singles. $13.78 and $13.70. Pretty solid doubles effort, and it's going to give them a heck of a boost for team all events heading into the final 3 games. Team all events, of course, is the marathon. 45-game marathon. 9 game totals for all 5 players added together. It became a thing in 1947. And even though it doesn't pay very much, it is possibly the most coveted. It's the big one, as they say, our defending champs. Junior Team USA Support 1. 10,247 was the monster number they put up last year. We saw a record number of 10,000s as well. Could be on our way to seeing the first here in 2014.
Big double for Huff there. He's going to be in the 250s this game.
You can see Aaron's wheel spinning already, thinking about how we're going to write this story when it's over. There's so many things happening.
There is. One thing I'm already contemplating is the idea of Tim Damerow leading here possibly 4 events.
We haven't seen a year like that, of course, since 1990.
Mike Newman,
the 3rd bowler in history to take home 4 titles in 1 year. Of course, we know it's still early. And the scores are great. Hard to gauge at this point. We'll be here till July 13th, but you can't win if you don't take the lead, and walking out of here leading in any events, let alone 4, has to feel pretty darn good. These guys now leading the team event, 34.99, 1-2 in doubles. Damerow on his way in all events. Big crowd on hand. Thanks for joining us for this bonus coverage. We put it out there for the world. The Like-a-thon was on.
1186 in game 3 of doubles for these guys.
For singles.
3rd game blues, nay nay.
Nay, nay.
Says the land of cheese.
Couple frames there at the end of game 2. They fought through it. Came up huge in game 3. And again, that was the difference last year too. We saw that the teams that survived that transition, you have to make the right choice at that point in time. whether it's a ball change or a big move. And for many of the teams, it worked out the opposite way. And game 3 didn't go so well. These guys doing all the right things here in 2014. Yesterday, 43-foot sport bowling certified lane condition. Tied for 7th high score ever. And now today, Aaron will have the final tally for you in a minute, but making light work of this 40-foot condition here in doubles and singles.
Very true, Matt. Well, if that was their team event again, they'd be 1-2 in that too. 33-84 for doubles. So that puts them at 68-83 plus 883. So technically, par bowling the rest of the way out. They are your new team all events leaders.
Number on top right now, 97.56. Town and Country Lanes.
So they got that by a sizable margin right now. So more than 100 pins.
100 ahead of that pace after doubles. Gotta keep it together here though. For the last 3 games, had a great team event, great doubles. Keep your composure for 3 more games. Make the right moves. Talk it through. You see Janz looking at trouble to start singles, but good place for that. Get it out of the way in the first frame as he goes 6 out. And Aaron, we talk about a single pin along the way. Just 1 pin over, in this case, could be 45 games, but a single pin was the difference last year for our team champion, Lodge Lanes 2. They broke the 20-year-old team record by 1 pin. 35-38 was the number. Previous number 35-37 set by Brugger's Bagels in 1993. So 1 pin along the way, huge. Gotta get your count. That was the point of that story, by the way.
Yes.
Because you never know when a 1 pin is going to be the difference between.
Well, and as great as these guys have bowled, you just got to think about some of the slight miscues. Randy missing 3 single pins so far today. Yesterday, during that 12-18 game, they had 2 single pin misses before that 9th frame. So, but when even talking to John Gaines last year, they said they felt like they left some out there and was the highest score of all time. That's always going to happen. There's going to be
every team's
along the way.
Every team's going to feel that way for sure.
But if we're record hunting already, 35-42 in singles to tie the record. So it's 7:08 a guy.
That number, of course, Pollard's Bowl from Versailles, Indiana, 1996, 10,425. And Gaines and crew back in 1998, 97 or 98, they won back-to-back titles, but came up just shy, 4 pins shy of that record. So 4 pins over 45 games. They could have been the record holders. They got the eagle, of course. That was the important thing. Records were made to be broken, but the Eagles can't take those away.
Tim Damerow only needs 594. I say only, but that'd be a lot for me or you. No pressure or anything like that, but 594 to take a share of the all events lead.
Well on his way with a double here in game 1.
You guys got any Avery Pro from yourself?
Aaron, back in 2011, when these guys did finish 6th in the team event, and we saw the highest team game in history bowled on this pair of lanes as well.
Very true.
Jeff Riggles and crew 1281 to take home the team title that year. We also saw Matt McNeil shoot 300, 822 in doubles. And his all events title defense came up short that year, but put on quite a show. Looks like these guys certainly have some room to open up the lane here in singles. typically the goal. They started out further right with a little bit of surface to tame down that back end reaction, and they're migrating left. So Hupp there on his last shot had some room, a little bit of angle. Some bank to the right. Joe Janz a little bit tighter. Sticking with that zero gravity and the 3-bagger for him. Damerow looking comfortable. 3 in a row of his own. So if they keep up this pace, Aaron, it's not how, it's how many. And are we going to see a 10,000 today?
Well, looking at that scoreboard, I certainly would not be surprised. I know it's early. We're only in the 4th game overall of 6, and obviously we'll see how it plays out here in the last 2, but so far the game plan working. Obviously they hope that continues and they don't get to a point where they find themselves handcuffed or anything like that, but Andy Bunkowski, 14:09 after 2 sets. 6:67 for him to move into the all events or take a share of the all events lead. So these guys could possibly be right up there as well with that.
These guys shaking up the leaderboards here. It's going to be all about them. By the time we're done here. Just got to stay clean, fill frames.
I need some manners. I need some manners.
But you're right. Hopefully on July 13th, they're not counting down those single pin spares. About 50 pins out there already. Just in single pins alone.
Damerow makes it 4 in a row with the dramatics. Tim doesn't take much time up there once he gets the ball in his hand. He found that out the hard way trying to record yesterday.
These guys are getting into it for sure.
Joe Janz has not missed since he made the ball change in the 7th frame last game.
They're getting loose, they're getting animated, but gotta hold on to it for a minute. It's only game number 1. And it's early in the tournament. While being the leaders would be fantastic, you don't want to give any away. You want to put that bar up as high as you possibly can. Give the rest of the field something to chase.
Text him. He looks at text. Just put on there that nothing to comment more on tournament.
Once again, thanks everybody for taking some time out of their work day on a Friday. Jeans Day, if you particular places. For spending time on Bowl TV with us, presented by Track. Here at the 2014 USBC Open Championships, National Bowling Stadium, Reno, Nevada. Bonus coverage. I'm glad everyone liked it on the Facebook page because This is gold so far, Mr. Cannizzaro. We got the team leaders. We got the top 2 spots in doubles. Team all events is just a matter of possibly how much at this point. Tim Damerow, 1482 after 6. Looking for the all events lead on his own.
1482, that's a beast right there, but he's looking to skip right over the 2100s.
That's true. Could be another sizable lead.
Last year's winning score 22-28, the year before 22-02. And the challenge, the true test of versatility here with 2 different lane conditions. Who can master 2 patterns? One's 43 feet, one's 40 feet. Damerow having no trouble here through 2 sets.
Joe Janz enjoying as well right now. Since we haven't talked about it yet, 783 currently leading singles. I don't see what's going to stop them at this point. They're hogging the leaderboard to themselves.
Well, might as well go out there and get them all.
Terrence Blevins still on top with that 783 out of Chicago. Bowled early on, bowled the first 300 of the 2014 event. There's been a few people to get close, but a few 770s, 760s up there, but 783 still standing strong. You know, there was a lot of talk after last year, 795, Zeke Bate holding on to take the eagle. That scores would be high in singles with everyone staying on the same pair. But right here, and I know a lot of folks in the chat room were discussing it, how these guys were playing them early on to see what kind of shot they have by game 5, game 6, but so far, all good. Great shot by Andy there. All 10 back. Five in a row for Jim Janz. He's joining in the fun as well here. Perhaps a lucky omen when the main camera goes out twice. Hopefully not a third time.
Big start for Janz's HI here.
Nice break for Joe there. Runs a little high. Takes care of everything. That one checked up early on Tim.
Good break though, leaving only the 4-7.
4 in a row for Tim after starting the game with an open.
Just joining us, this is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith live at the National Bowling Stadium 2014 USBC Open Championships. We're watching a great run here. Janz's HI team leaders, 1-2 in doubles, and you're watching them attack these lanes perfectly. So if you're just joining in or plan on coming out to the event later and want to go back and watch the archived version of this broadcast, you can find it on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/bowltv. Go to the Open Championships playlist, and you can watch from the beginning. See these guys in practice, playing farther right to start the day, and then migrating left as the day progresses. If you're interested, there's other previous broadcasts there as well. Anything Open Championships related can be found under that Open Championships playlist. And it'll give you a good idea of what's working and what's not working here in 2014.
Very true, and to be up to date on all broadcasts, not only from here in Reno, but from USBC and our globe-trotting friend Lucas Wiseman, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel here on Bowl TV at youtube.com/BowlTV. Nice break for Jim there. And of course, we are social media superstars now, Mr. Canizaro. But be sure to follow the USBC or the Sport of Bowling on Facebook at facebook.com/USBC, as well as follow our championships specific page at the USBC Open /Women's Championships. Of course, USBC is on Twitter at USBC, twitter.com/USBC, and then even you and I are on there. So be sure to follow us at USBC Matt, at USBC Aaron. Get all of our nifty tidbits that we have to offer. Nifty. It's a fancy word. Non-strike for Joe Janz since the 6th frame of the last game. First miss since making that ball change. well, Matt, I mentioned at the beginning of singles, 35-42 is the number they need as a team to take a share of the team all events record of 10,425 set back in 1996. Just a little over 700 man, about 708. So I think 236-ish average for everybody. As a group, they're going to be right around there to start if they keep up this pace. Spares in a row for Damerow after starting with the front four.
A lot of great bowlers on the lanes and in the building already. So great teams getting ready to take the lanes this afternoon. And of course, we'll be back on the air tomorrow. Same time, same place. 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific with Ocean Plus Lanes, great group, also from Wisconsin. They shot 34.99 last year, 10,000 team all events. Certainly have the ability, as well as Brian Bergeau's Pro Shop group. They're always in the hunt, so it's going to be an exciting weekend here at the Open Championship. Thanks for joining us right now, and hopefully you'll come back tomorrow and give us a piece of your weekend. Big numbers being shot so far here today. Team all events lead, all but secure at this point. Just a question of how much.
How much indeed. They, I know we were talking about the 10,000 earlier. They may be plus 1,000 after this game. A lot of strikes up there. That is fun to watch. Janz makes it 8 in a row.
Janz, the one member of this group not on the team that's leading the team event, so he wants in on the action as well. Wants his name in the paper. Janz's HI 34.99 yesterday. And Jim coming in as the extra guy for doubles and singles.
Tim will take it, mixes them up.
Just go to the internet and push www.southwest.com.
That shot in from the get-go for Joe Janz. I think he's okay with just the 9-pin standing up there. These guys not afraid of the camera, Matt. Went down there yesterday, taking some shots during the final game as they raced their way up the leaderboard. Put up a humongous 10th frame. 13 strikes out of 14 shots. Here they are. Didn't even know they were going to be live streamed. I'm not sure if they did today, but coming in, they were not on the schedule for the live stream. And all they've done is strike. right, Matt. We've been talking so much about Janz H&I team, but Jim Janz, part of the companion team, stealing the show here right now. Looking to make it 9 in a row.
Jim got off to a slow start in doubles and had some switch grip issues there.
Makes it 9 in a row.
Looks to be perfectly comfortable now.
Tell your friends, folks. Get on Twitter, get on Facebook. Not only are we having a tutorial on how to attack this doubles and singles pattern, we have the front 9 now. Runs a little high there for Joe. Only the 4-pin stands.
Got a lot of lumber out there.
There's so much going on right now, man. It's this is pretty crazy right now. Amongst the full squad here at the NBS. Matt, we've seen a few shots go high here in the 10th. See what the strategy is as they continue on. Whether or not those were just bad shots, or it's time to make a move on the lane, or fall down perhaps, or but the way these guys have communicated so far, it's gotta imagine they're discussing that right now.
Not a lot of shots, less than 9 up there on the scoreboard, keeping it around the pocket, making the little moves.
Oh, that's what. Oh, that's
get some good breaks.
There's the first miss by Tim Janz since the 2nd frame. Great shot there. Rings the 10.
Aaron, I got a Word document open here. There's so much to say.
Where to begin?
Exactly. This team is absolutely rewriting the leaderboards here. At the 2014 Open Championships, came in, took the leading team yesterday, blasted them for 34.99, tied for the 7th highest score in history. Previous leader 33.41. So big move there in the team event. Just blasting them again here in doubles and singles. 1-2 in doubles right now. We've got Damerow and Bunkowski fighting for the all events lead. Could come down to an exciting game 3. We've got Janz coming back from a early struggle in doubles with the front 9 here on our live stream broadcast. This broadcast, a late addition to the schedule. The people wanted it, they voted for it, they liked it on Facebook, and here we are. Big numbers, not disappointing at all. And of course, singles still out there, 783 is the number. Here's Pup looking to finish strong here.
Still has 260s out there.
So Aaron, I see these guys chose not to get the DVD of their competition today. So luckily we're here, and this broadcast will be archived on our YouTube channel for them to go back and watch, because this is certainly one they're going to want to remember so far. And here's Janz up on lane 29 right now. Front 9 looking to make it 10. Gets it a little bit wide and leaves the 2-pin.
Great run though to kick off singles here. As you mentioned, had some struggles early on. Coming back strong here. Plenty of time for a big single set. Just doing the quick math, I think they're going to be right around 1,200 here. Janz misses the 2-pin. He's going to have to bounce back from that. Still a fantastic start here. He's got a good bunch of guys to support him here. 248.
Wowza, 240, 240, 240, 230, 220. Big numbers here. Calculator's going to explode.
$11.99. First game of singles. They're getting stronger, Matt, as the day goes on.
A little too deep. I think I went too bad. I moved quite a bit because his ball's checking out.
They're plus 1082 now. And actually ahead of pace for what they would need to take down the team all events record. doesn't look like they're ready to go anywhere just yet.
Appreciate everybody checking in the chat room via Facebook, via Twitter. You can find us in all those places because we are everywhere. And glad we're behind lanes 29 and 30 at the National Bowling Stadium right now. Janz HI putting on a strike clinic here at the 2014 USBC Open Championships. Flirting with record numbers once again. Made a run at the highest score in the team event yesterday. Finished with 34.99, comfortably in the lead here after almost 40 days. But a long way to go still, till July 13th. A lot of great teams in the building, in town, and headed this way in the coming months.
It's going to be fun to see teams attempt to chase whoever these guys end up with. I know there was plenty of speculation after John Gaines and company put up their record score last year, whether or not anyone was going to get to that, and a few teams came pretty close. 4 teams cracking the 3,500 mark. Red carpet lanes, 34.99, basically 3,500.
We had a few great team all events runs last year too. A couple of teams that could have and probably should have won the title, but that's what it's all about, is making things happen under pressure, and they had it out there and let it go. They let it get away. And we saw some single pin miscues here from this group even. 5 that I can think of off the top of my head. 3 today and a couple yesterday. And those add up. Those are 10 or 11 pins each time. And when you're talking about what could be just a few pins when it's all over with, certainly missing single pins almost inexcusable at this level. If you're gonna take home the eagle, you better come back with a whole lot of strikes.
That's exactly what they've done. Great shot by Tim Janz there.
And we're certainly not judging, we're just pointing it out. That is what it takes to excel at this level on the big stage, the big show, as they call it. It's a team that makes the fewest mistakes likely is the one that's going to hoist the trophy at the end.
Well, speaking of that, since they're in the house getting ready to bowl not too long from now, bowling the 3 o'clock squad. Nicholas J's Pro Shop 2 back in 2012, only 8 opens as a team on their way to the lone 3,400 to take the title. The scores were a little lower back in Baton Rouge, and they were able to avoid the miscues. On their way, they'll look to see if they can find that magic again. They were on our live stream last year, put on a very nice performance, and didn't quite take the lead, but a nice 3,200. A lot of folks got some good information off that, and hopefully everyone tuning in who hasn't bowled yet is developing a bit of a strategy here, seeing what these guys are doing, and obviously every game is different. But these guys are doing it right up so far. These guys are creeping in little by little here. As the 40-foot sport bowling certified condition breaks down. We see him make the right adjustments so far when, you know, a few flat 10s here and there. A few 4 pins, a few 9 pins. It's been short-lived. They've been making all the right moves and making the shots. Just like that right there.
And these guys have been close in the team event for a half a dozen years or so now, and figured out the team atmosphere and holding it together and working together, communicating. And now they're flirting again with record numbers, and it's going to be a whole new ball game here as far as keeping the nerves in check and keeping the emotions pretty stable as we finish off game 3, because it's the type of event where you need to get all you can get and hope that obviously other teams don't get more, but you certainly don't want to leave any out there or let your emotions get the best of you, leading to any mistakes. But they're certainly pushing each other, not only as teammates, but also with all events out there, and so a lot of things happening. A lot of great storylines on this pair of lanes right now.
Tripped the 10 out, Joe Janz.
Old guy strike.
Old guy strike, he says.
They all look the same up on the scoreboard. This team actually is a very good mix of experience and youth. Obviously, Joe Janz, the senior of this group. Tim Janz and Krosky, a little bit younger, at least from our perspective here. But they work well together. No doubt they spend a lot of time bowling together in events in the Midwest, Wisconsin, City State, Willow Creek we hear so much about. Other great team events, certainly a great value on team bowling in the Wisconsin Midwest areas. And they hold the Open Championships in the highest regard. Kind of their year leads up to participation here on the championship lanes. All these teams will stick together throughout City State other local events, and all in preparation. Getting to know each other's games and being able to work together when it counts here, like they're doing here. Terrible break there for Hupp with the 4.79. Holy moly, threw that one pretty good, just a little bit high. Two of the worst things, the fast 8 and the 4.9 all at once.
That's true. It looks like he's still using the ball he started off with today. Damerow as well, I believe.
Hupp not liking that left lane at all. 2 opens to go along with a pair of strikes on the right, so they're going to have to talk through this one. How to handle lane 29. He's talking to Tim Janz right now. Joe Janz up, having no problem. 4-bagger. Looking to make it 5 again. Mixes him up.
Very nice.
7 goes late. He's got to stay calm. He was here last game too. Made a run, a string of strikes to start. Fell off a little bit, finished with 247. Back on it with 5 in a row. We'll have the score updates for you after this game. We'll let you know if you need to get on the phone with the Pollard brothers, Don Scudder, up the gutter Scudder as they call him. Of course, those are the members along with Bill Spigner, members of Pollard's Bowl, team all events record holders. Our longest standing record here at the Open Championships now, dating back to 1996. 10,425. It's been challenged, I'd say, one time. That was by John Gaines and the Lodge Lanes crew, the original group.
10,421.
Yes, sir. They came within 4 pins. Again, we talked earlier about how important getting count is. A couple of single pins here and there. But as we saw last year with Lodge Lanes 2, shooting a record score doesn't matter unless you win.
That's the facts. It's fun for a while, but it's all said and done if the championship doesn't come with that. All right, Joe Janz looking for 6 in a row here. Mixes him up once again. 6 in a row. He's got the team on his shoulders right now. A few more spares up there overall for Janz HI. Bunkoski unable to double yet this game.
Here it's almost time to move the cameras or zoom out or do something because these guys are creeping left. They're almost creeping off the screen. We've still got a whole game to go here in singles. Big number so far. 783 on top of singles. 2076 likely to come down here for the all events lead. And team all events, it's pretty much already done. Now it's just a matter of by how much. Another single pin. Guess we don't really need to draw more attention to that, but we're getting close to the double-digit range. And we're talking about almost 100 pins and single pin spares right now.
Let's see if his teammates can hold him up here. Tim and Joe and the other Tim need to hold up these other two guys here as they fight through this. Always an interesting spare to shoot at here at the Open Championships, the 245. Tim takes care of him. Let's see if Randy can get lane 29.
This lane's been a challenge so far. Pair of splits. He is so far left, he's off the screen. We really do have to consider making a camera move here.
High once again, that doesn't get any easier there. Tough break.
Breaks up a tough spare to a even tougher spare.
3, 9, 10.
Lane is giving him fits.
Only able to get one. That's 4 opens so far for Janz HI this game. Let's see if Joe Janz can keep it going. Able to get the mixer one more time.
So he's been light the last 3 shots. Got the 7 to go last time on that lane. We zoomed out for you a little bit, and if we need to go some more, we certainly will. As game 2 progresses into game 3. Guys are starting to make bigger moves left. Take advantage of the whole lane and a great strategy. Starting to the right. Big crowd. Thank you for joining us on this Friday afternoon. Some of you may be just getting off work. But these guys putting on a show for you. This is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith live at the National Bowling Stadium 2014 USBC Open Championships. This broadcast brought to you by Track Bowling. Don't forget to thank your sponsors and stop by the booth, of course, to check out the new track equipment and go down and visit the track showcase lanes to book yourselves a practice session. Get your team lined up, get a strategy in place. $34.99 is a monster number. It's going to take some preparation, and make sure you guys are all on the same page. You can do that downstairs for $125 per hour. Up to 10 of you can work on your equipment and strategy on the team lane, condition 43 feet. And if you'd like to see the 40-foot doubles and singles pattern, you can try your hand at the Storm Bowlers Journal Championships presented by USBC on lanes 69 through 78 here at the National Bowling Stadium. Everything under one roof, very convenient for you. And that event, they have squads on the fresh as well as on the burn, so you can actually bowl back-to-back squads and see all aspects of the transition through the 6 games. Of course, here in 2014, you will bowl all 6 games of doubles and singles on the same pair of lanes. We're watching that right now here on 29 and 30. 6 bowlers, 6 games on one pair, an opportunity to come up with a good team strategy as we're seeing here today. Start right, creep left, and big numbers. So a lot of chances, opportunities to compete, win some prize money, and make sure you are sharp because the numbers are on the rise here at the Open Championships. It's going to take a career day, no doubt, to take home an eagle here in 2014. And that is exactly what Tim Damerow is trying to do. He is on his way to the top spot in all events. And he is pulling away from Andy Bunkowski, who also is having a pretty spectacular 2014. And these guys are potentially going to leave with the lead in every event if somebody can get on a good singles run here. So it's been exciting. Bonus coverage here on Bowl TV. And we'll be back with you tomorrow. Of course, if you want to check out the original and rest of the live stream schedule, you can visit bowl.com and see the live stream schedule down on the right side of your screen. All kinds of other great information available on the Open Championships page. So don't miss it. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We are everywhere.
I see the Nicholas J's Pro Shop crew walking behind us up in the rafters, getting the best look they can up here.
Lucas Wiseman checking in also. Curious about how these guys are doing. We'll have an update for you as far as the numbers after game 2 here. They are, I believe Aaron said, already 1,000 over with 2 games to go. So getting every pin they can, and the team all events record still in sight. So we're probably not going to go down and tell them that, but they're going to keep on doing what they're doing, and they're putting on a show. And
need a really big 9th and 10th here, especially out of the guys still in the 250s, 260s. Randy really needs to get this left lane figured out. 3 splits so far. Tough break with a 4.79 in there as well. Shot gets away, does come back. Takes a break. Trips the 2 out. Once again, Janz HI, which is made up of Joe Janz, Tim Janz, Randy Hupp, Tim Damerow, and Andy Bunkowski, took over the team lead yesterday with $34.99. And then in doubles, Joe Janz and Tim Damerow moved into the regular doubles lead with $13.79. Their teammates, Tim Janz and Andy Bunkowski, 1370 to move into second. Team all events is their next goal. Trip 4 for Tim. Nice strike there. He's in fantastic shape to move into the all events lead here after firing the fourth 300 of the 2014 Open Championships yesterday. 778 in teams, 704 in doubles. Tough spare here for Joe. Let's see if he can take care of it. 2-4-5-7 covered. 254 still out there for Joe. See if Andy can make it 3 in a row here after the single pin miss. 210. Doesn't get any, so he'll lose 2 pins off of that. Drops his max to 191. Late trip of the 7 for Tim. Make it 3 in a row. Big strike there. They needed about 1170 the last 2 games, or per game, to get to the all-time record. The big 10th frame here will be a little below that, I believe. But still certainly with a chance to get there in the final game here. All right, 10th frame. Ready to be underway. Game 2 is singles. Joe Janz starts it off with a strike. 254 still out there. Tim Damerow 269. Getting ready to step up on lane 30.
All right, so game 2 coming to an exciting finish here. Still a lot of strings of strikes on the board and big possibilities here. It is likely that they will be leading every event here in 2014. Singles still a little bit of a reach at 783, but certainly plenty of room out there, especially for Tim Damerow. 232 to start. He's tripping 4s all day long here, looking for 260 here, and it's his day so far.
Well, there's shot making, and then there's, which he's done plenty of all week so far, but take home that eagle. A few breaks here and there. It's never hurt anybody.
Minimize mistakes, get a few breaks along the way, and then the weight. July 13th, the conclusion of this year's event. These guys trying to raise the bar so high.
269 in the books. Happy birthday, Mr. Odom, but it does not appear he will end the day in the all events lead.
And Curtis Odom leading at 2076. And it looks like Damerow is just trying to skip right over the 2100s.
I was going to say he needed 594 to take a share for the lead. Already at 501 after 2.
So he is flirting with 2200 here.
Big strike there for Tim Janz. 259 still out there for him. Andy and Randy need a big 10th frame here as well to keep pace. Teammates holding them up here. Double in the 10th for Tim Janz. He's in the 250s now. This is pretty unbelievable, Mr. Canizaro.
Well, good thing we got you up early today. Come in and get this on YouTube. And it's what the people wanted. Certainly not disappointed.
Disappointed after that. Sends everything but the kitchen sink at the 7th and somehow still stands.
But when you see something this exciting this early, there's still a long way to go, and some big shoes for the rest of the bowlers to fill coming in here.
Tim Janz 259. He's at 504 after 2. Joe Janz 491.
Joe Janz, Tim Janz, Damerow, all with a shot at singles here. It's going to take a whole lot of strikes. 783, currently on top. Terrence Blevins from Chicago. He rolled the first 300 of the year. Damerow, 300 number 4 yesterday, third one in the team event. Guys leading team 1-2 in doubles. All events is pretty much done, just a matter of how much.
All right, there's still going to be plus 100 here in the 1100s for the game. If they want a shot at the all-time record, you're going to need to be spot on in the finale.
So Aaron Smith, the man with the calculator, is going to have some exact numbers for you. He's punching them in right now. Nobody's looking up at the rafters just yet. But above the lanes, just above us, last year's Team All Events banner. Junior Team USA support, 10,247. A great number. And they survived a few late challenges. we're going to be in that number range here for sure. One game to go here in singles. Will these guys lead every event here in 2014? Keep throwing shots like that? The answer is absolutely. Otherwise, it'll be 4 out of 5, and Terrence Blevins will survive another day. But here we go. Game 3 underway. Joe Janz, 247, 244. He's still got a shot. Tim Janz, 504 after 2. He's in it. And Tim Damerow working on the all events lead. 501 with a strike up, so he's going to need to be nearly perfect the rest of the way. What a way to start the weekend, Aaron Smith. Even Jeff Riggles checking in the chat room, and he said, of course, that no score is safe. We know that. We've seen that so many times for his team especially, but back in 2009 for sure. Ron Folks shoots 23-21 with an 8.57, and we thought singles and all events were locked up. Bo Gergen had something to say about that. Shot 8.62, the highest score in tournament. Until it's all over, you're absolutely right, Mr. Riggles. Nothing is safe. And nothing would surprise us, I don't think, at this point either. We've seen it all over the last 10 years, and certainly these guys are going to make it a lot of work for somebody.
Well, if they want to work to the record, 12-12 for a share of the 10,425 set by Pollard's Bowl. Joe Janz, Tim Janz, Randy Hupp, Tim Damerow, Andy Bunkowski. 242 a man. We've certainly seen them strike a lot. Can they strike it that much?
12-12, they hit the 1,200 mark twice yesterday, 1,200 even, and 12-18 in the finale. And they've certainly got some room here in the final game of singles. They've got the lanes opened up nicely. It's just a matter of getting the carry as we see Tim Janz staring down that 10-pin. A spare no problem for him. So much happening. People just tuning in. We're closing in on 600 viewers. Thank you once again. This is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith. We're live at the 2014 USBC Open Championship. Some bonus coverage today. They shot 34-99 yesterday to grab the team lead by a whole bunch, and they've continued to strike here on day 2. And now it's just a matter of settling down here in game 3 of singles to punch that number even higher. But leading in team event, 1-2 in doubles. Tim Damerow on his way to a big number in all events. Now, team all events is not how, but how many at this point.
And to put it in perspective, through 8 games total between the 5 of them, they're at 92-13. So even if they didn't bowl the last game, they'd still be plus for the tournament. And it looks like the numbers have jumped up. Almost 600 people watching live right now.
A lot of folks joining us. Lucas helping us out, pimping this on Facebook and Twitter and getting the word out. Perhaps a poor choice of words there, but already out there in the world nonetheless. And thank you all for tuning in. Even if you're late, you're getting to the best part. David Harris giving us some information. Michael Cruz. One of the Michael Cruzes.
Michael Cruz Jr. it looks like. 208, 279 with the front 4 right now.
Looks like those guys are down on the higher side of the. Keep an eye on that. There's some audio here.
All right, here's Joe Janz up in the third. Mixing them up. So far, pretty solid start. Can they keep it going? 12-12. So what they need to get to grab a share of the team all events record. All right, folks, Matt Cannizzaro having some headset issues.
Well, you might have to listen to me.
To listen to you in clips and phrases. Apparently all.
No idea what's going on here, sir, but I might have to keep my mouth the rest of the way.
So all of our issues, no effect on what's going on the lane.
Yes.
Big trip 10 there for Bunkowski. And for those who have been with us the entire day, we did have some technical issues earlier on. Had the main camera go down twice. All seems to be well with the world now outside of Matt's audio. Big break there for Hupp. Crossing over for Brooklyn. They need to gotta take those hits when you can get them right now.
My what? Oh, yeah, it's easy on that side.
Tim Damerow getting up on 29. He's been leading the way for this group. There's another 10 pin for him. Don't think he has made a ball change yet today. I think he's stuck with that zero gravity. He just moved left and left and has been able to get the ball to face up right at pretty much all day. Low game of 202 so far for him. Everything else 232 and above. So once again, thank you everyone for tuning in. Aaron Smith and Matt Cannizzaro. Bonus live stream coverage this Friday afternoon in Reno, Nevada. These guys put on a show yesterday to take over the regular team lead of $34.99. They weren't done. Joe Janz and Tim Damerow edge out Joe Janz and Tim Damerow edge out Tim Janz and Andy Bunkowski to go 1-2 in regular doubles. 1379, 1370. Damerow needed 594 to grab a share of the team or the regular all events lead. So he's well on his way to that, just a matter of how much. As well as the team all events lead by these guys. So very likely Tim's going to leave with the lead in 4 events.
So we're not going to see a new singles leader today, but
not here at least.
Not here, absolutely, and quite a performance by these guys across the board now, just knocking down every pin they can as they build their team all events lead here. And then go home, and this is one of those ones where it's a challenge to watch. You can't really watch the leaderboards because team all events doesn't appear on the leaderboards. That's something that we update manually. As there's changes regularly. So, of course, this is going to be a big change. We'll have those standings updated on bowl.com later today. But these guys will have to wait. They'll have to use a bunch of tools to figure out what's going on here if they really want to keep track. I'm sure that others will keep them up to date as well, but just keep an eye on the teams that bowl well and then watching them in doubles and singles, whether it's on the live stream, the webcams, or X Bowling live scoring. All part of the challenge and all part of the fun. And in talking with Eric Vermelia of the 2013 Team All Events champion team, they've been close before and they've had to wait for months and months to see how their scores held up here at the Open Championships. It was a doubles weight back in 2010, and he said the experience was a whole lot different this time around because they made it a little more fun. They understood that there was a possibility that the score wasn't going to hold up, but waiting was part of the game, part of the fun, something that they didn't enjoy very much in 2010. They just wanted it to be over. And so this time they experienced all the way through, and these guys now will leave leading 4 events and have to sweat it out until July 13th. Last time they had the lead, 2011, it lasted 3 days. So we'll see if they can hold on a little bit longer here in 2014.
Well, they're going to have to make some kind of change here. These and out misses another single pin, but balls aren't hitting as hard as they were a little bit earlier in the day. So I'm not sure if it's a move left, if it's a ball change, if it's a change with the wrist position, any of that stuff. That these guys are going to have to go big from here on out if they want to take their record down. And that's a start, Tim Janz. It's getting quiet in here all of a sudden.
Yeah, most of the squad getting done, and these guys a little bit behind pace, being asked to pick up the pace of play. Taking their time. We do have a team event coming in at 3 o'clock. So we're going to have to put the hustle on to get these cameras in position to do a couple sit-down interviews with these guys. And we'll put the word out this afternoon on bowl.com, give you some details and final scores, and then we'll get the footage uploaded to our talented video production team at headquarters and have a highlight video put together with some thoughts from these guys as well. So a little bit of teamwork on our part coming up right after this. Now that these guys are having a great couple of days, now just putting the finishing touches.
What's that? Yes, yeah, yesterday at 4 o'clock we bowled. Was it 3 o'clock?
Halfway through, I believe with a spare here by Andy, they still got 13:03 out there. 12-12 once again, the number they need to get to a share of the team all events record.
These guys getting some congratulations all around us. The word is out, 34-99, team lead yesterday. The word is already out there. So many joining us today. Thank you very much. These guys finish things off. There's Damerow, the all events leader here in 2014.
By my calculations, 1283 still possible. But just starting the 6th frame, that's going to be quite a run. There's another 10 pin for Joe. Koski back on it after the 10 pin in the 5th frame. It's bounced back nicely after 181. Nice shot there by Janz. He was on the companion team yesterday. Started off with the front 9 in game 1 of singles. Looking to finish his 2014 Open Championships off right. There's a break for Joe. Tripping the 410 out. Pup mixes him up. All right, moving into the 7th frame. 1272. All right, we have a brief delay. Now a blackout. Hopefully not for too long.
Singles. What's that? Jimmy.
All right, as we wait, we will once again want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Take some time off on a Friday afternoon to watch some great bowling here at the National Bowling Stadium.
Tim took over to the Damerow. And the other two guys are in second.
More audio issues.
Extra frames here.
Mr. Canizaro. He gave me the good headset today. Uh-oh. All right, we got the lights back on, but not a full rack there on 30. Looks like we're back to action here. 7th frame, Tim Damerow. He's going to be our new regular all-events leader. It's just a matter of by how much delivers right there in the 7th. There's a 3-bagger for Tim Janz. Keeping the dream alive. Matt Canizaro still down with the audio. Seven pin falls off just at the end for Andy there. Big 7th frame so far. Big 7th frame for these guys here. All 5 of them strike. Still a chance. 12-72 out there. Need 12-12 to take a share of the Open Championships all-time team all-events record. Damerow keeps going in the 8th. Here's Joe Janz cashing in a nice break. Can he keep it going? Big strike in the 8th there.
Just trying to silence Matt. It's not.
Occasionally it is. Matt's going to take our live mic. Since his headset's on the fritz. Here's Andy in the 8th. This feels similar to what we saw yesterday. Having a big 7th, 8th, big 7th, 8th frames.
So the world is trying to silence Matt Canizaro. It's not working. Was there another internet vote, a like-a-thon that I missed? The Keep Canizaro Quiet campaign. You can't hold me down, Aaron Smith.
We tried. All right, here's Tim in the 8th. 7-pin stands. Jim Janz having a nice game here. 7 out of 8.
Aaron, we're going to see the new leader in 4 events out of 5. Almost unheard of. And it could have been 100 or so pins higher. Jim Janz with the missed single pin. Joe stepping up, looking for 3 in a row here. Still got 238 out there. Big singles number for him.
All right, the dream's still alive. 1239 still out there.
Aaron with the quick math after that open frame. There's still a lot of room. I don't know if the Pollard brothers should be sweating just yet. We've seen crazier things.
Big late trip there. 6-pin shows some love to Randy. What a break in the 9th frame. He's shaking his head, but I know he doesn't mind that right now. All right, Tim bounces back nicely. There's one more.
Good job, Binky.
Our perfect 9th frame, Matt Canizaro.
Still throwing great shots. The mood has changed a little bit. It got awfully serious in here. I think they're starting to get the idea. And every team handles these situations differently. It's awfully quiet in here. There was a lot of excitement earlier, but very mellow right now. Everybody focused on throwing good shots. They know what they need to do. They're there. Getting a couple of good breaks. Damerow working on 3 in a row. Last one was Brooklyn. Looking to capitalize on that and try to put all events out of reach early.
There's the first one.
Much better shot there. Aaron Smith losing his mind.
Or my pen.
And his pen. Trying to do the calculations.
All right.
So unofficially,
They'll lose 21 there.
I'm going to actually touch base with the rest of the crew here in just a minute and make sure they know what we need, and we'll get as official of a number as we can here.
All right. Tim is finishing off an unbelievable set here. All right, a chance at the record still possible. It's 12-18 unofficially. Need 12-12. Make that 12-15 max, but big double there to keep it alive. 7:46 for Tim Damerow to match what won last year unofficially 22-28 all events. With that 4-pin, I believe the record officially now out of reach.
All right, Mr. Smith, what do we have for final numbers so far? Damerow, I heard 22-28.
That's unofficial, of course. Joe Janz, 20-30.
22-28, of course, the winning number last year. So that could be a good thing.
Could be a sign.
Previous leader, Curtis Odom, 20-76.
Andy finishes up with 258, bounces back nicely after the 181.
All right, Timmy, take all 10 now. Come on.
20-75 for Bunkowski. Jim Janz trying to finish it off right. Looking for 279.
Great performers here in doubles and singles, and we'll have the recap for you on Bull.com later today. Video recap over the weekend, but these guys have put on a show here in 2014. They've been close before in the team event, and they put it all together across the board. They're leading every event now but singles with staggering numbers, to say the least. 34.99 in the team event, 13.78 in doubles. They're 1-2 in doubles, and Tim Damerow 22-28 unofficially
Cover it up, Jim.
in all events. So a great performance by this talented Wisconsin group. Certainly raising the bar for the Wisconsin teams coming in later. This bonus coverage might be a learning tool for the next few months. Folks are going to tune in and see, how did these guys do it? And you'll see all 6 games from just at the end of practice, the whole transition, and then singles.
Yeah, it's been a real treat to watch these guys today, playing together, staying right early, and then just making the right moves. Once again, all the scores we were saying are unofficial because Matt and I have very bad at addition usually. But yes, we have $34.99 for the team, $13.79. Damerow and Joe Janz for doubles, $22.28. Damerow all events. And after this final shot here, I'll let you know what the unofficial team all events total is. It's a final shot of just a fantastic performance by Janz HI. Unbelievable.
Bowling, guys. Good job. Woo.
11:50 the last game.
Great run there. Aaron's going to calculate the numbers, and we are in the books.
10,363 unofficially.
Here's your look at your final single score. One time with that score.
10,363 unofficially.
10,363 unofficially.
So less than 100 pins away from the all-time record. Just wow. More than anything else, that was.
They take team all the time. They beat the all-time record when they shoot 10,000.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up the files here, the all-time 10,000 list, right before we wrap things up.
But yeah, that's the fans got this one right, Matt. We put it out there. They said we want to see these guys after $34.99. Unofficially 10,363.
Don't take that off. Don't take the score off. I got it here.
Unofficially, Joe Janz 2030. Andy Bunkowski 2075. Tim Janz 2026. Randy Hupp 2004, and Tim Damerow, our new all events leader, 2228. Hopefully that all adds up correctly. Looks like the 4th highest all time.
So that number is official, 10,363. We got the word from the information department. So that is going to do it for today's broadcast. We have our 4th highest team all events total in history, 10,363. Janz's HI. And we're going to catch up with them here in a minute for some photos and comments. And we'll have the recap for you on bowl.com. So we're going to shut things down. We appreciate everybody joining us for today's bonus coverage. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific for another great edition of our live stream broadcast here at the Open Championships. Another talented Wisconsin team for doubles and singles. And that'll do it for today from the National Bowling Stadium. This is Matt Cannizzaro and Aaron Smith. And once again, check out the final details on bowl.com. Find us on Facebook or Twitter. And we'll see you all tomorrow. That's the news for now. We'll see you on the lanes.